Because of the nature, good evening to you all. Welcome, those of you on YouTube, those of you on Facebook. Thank you. Good evening to you all. You'll be watching me on Facebook and Twitter and on YouTube. I'm gonna try and essentially on YouTube and also on Facebook. I'm gonna try and see if we can share it also on Twitter. I think that should be possible. I'm just gonna look at that. Give it a few minutes. Let's see if we can. I'm gonna mix a mixture of Yoruba and English, and I'll explain why. I just watched a program which I'm going to play, but before I play that program, I also want to do something. I want us to draw your attention to something urgently, and that is what this I don't even know what to call him. What this so-called Adamu said, and I want you to watch the whole thing in its entirety. So those of you on Twitter, just go on to Twitter. You can see it. Click on it it's still via Facebook and YouTube. Good evening to you all. Good evening and welcome. Before I proceed, of course, let's do something. If I can get that right, 1 second. First of all, I want to know if you can all hear me. That's very important that you can hear me. If you can hear me, then we know we're on the right track. Let me just check. I want to just check that you can hear me, because the last few times I noticed that you've not been able to hear me. So good evening, and welcome on board. Welcome on board to you all. Give me a minute. Listen. We're on the drive. Tomorrow we got the Ekiti rally that's going to come live, and you will see it live here on Oduduwa TV Radio and Citizen AY simultaneously. So please, I'd like you all to, the first thing I'm going to ask you, please donate. I'm going to give you'll see the bank account on there for us to, please, we're asking you, whatever you send to us, we try and make sure we get it to our members who are working very hard to achieve Oduduwa and Yoruba Nation. We got the members, we got Tosin Williams, aka Mass Burial for all our leaders. He will be at Ekiti tomorrow. We got several state leaders who will be going to Ekiti as well tomorrow, and others. And what we're doing is we need to get them things like walkie-talkies. We need to get them things like, T-shirts, banners, posters. Tomorrow, we are going to be handing out 30,000 flyers and handbills tomorrow. This will be done by several of them tomorrow. And so we thank you all. Those of you that are donating, we are truly grateful. Your effort in supporting us has made that possible for us. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do what we just did. So I want to thank you all immensely for your commitment to this cause. The cause, of course, is one and only, specifically Yoruba Nation. Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation. By inference, I am also referring to Biafra Nation, and of course, I'm also referring to Middle Belt Nation. So please, as you gain this information, please do share. I urge you to continue. I'm going to be pinning it on the various platforms so that you can do your bit. However small, nothing is ever too small. The donations, like we said, is aimed at ensuring that we reach as many people. Awareness is key now. Our government, they are running scared. You saw what a lady Omoba said this afternoon. The government has now gone about creating something called this horridly United African Republic, which is a joke. And you saw my response, of course, it said dead on arrival. And I stand by those comments. It is dead on arrival. It is dead on arrival, and I make no apologies for holding such strongly held views, because when you understand that what these people are trying to do is to find a way to suppress and oppress us yet more still, then you begin to understand that no way, we are not going anywhere. We do not want, what we want is, we want a Yoruba nation, we want a Biafra nation, we want a Middle Belt nation. We want nothing to do with the Fulanis. They have no right to impose a united African Republic on the rest of us. We are going to do that via a referendum. So it's very important. So I thank you all. I've pinned as much as I can. I'm going to do one more thing if I can. Again, on YouTube. Those of you watching, please, if you can, I'm grateful for your support, but we still need more of your support. So please continue to share this broadcast. We will be beginning shortly, but I just want to make sure that when I get things going, yes, Yoruba Nation, no going back. We are not going back for anybody. No shishi, no kobo, no quota, nothing. We are going full steam ahead for Yoruba Nation, Oduduwa Nation. Please, those of you who are coming to the June 12th, you can buy the t-shirt for £20. Cap, £15. The flag is £20. We have a £5 flag, which we have also here. So these are things we will be talking about tonight. Before I go ahead, sorry about this. I just want to make sure I got everything in place to make sure that this is correct. So let's do this quickly. So look, there's a lot more. I'm going to be playing a video to you shortly, but I want to start off with the national anthem of Yoruba Nation. And it is something that we will be seeing us doing increasingly on this show because we firmly believe in Yoruba Nation. There is no doubt. We do not accept, nor do we even countenance anything known as a United African Republic. No, they can take that and go and shove it where the sun don't shine. You hear me? They can take that and go and shove it where the sun don't shine. We're not interested in that. We are only interested in one thing: Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, Middle Belt Nation, and all the other nations that will flow from that. We don't want to be any part of anything that is created by the Fulanis, because it's all yet another trap. If you fall for that, you will fall into the trap they set all over again. We're not prepared to do that. We're not going to accept that. We are simply saying enough. We've had enough of this nonsense. We are going to go. We are going purposefully towards Yoruba Nation, and we want you to join us. There many of us. I'm going to play you a video that you won't be surprised. I'm not surprised by the video that I saw earlier on. But let me just I'm trying to get you. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this thing for you. You will see it when it comes up. Not see it, you will hear it. So when I get there, I will play the thing now. Here we go. So we're going to do the national anthem, and it goes something like this. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a kọ orin orílẹ̀-èdè wa. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a kọ orin orílẹ̀-èdè wa. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, orílẹ̀-èdè wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga fáyé rí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé láti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ni ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa, tẹ̀síwájú fọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni Thank you very much for joining. Welcome on board. You're watching Citizen AY. You're watching, those of you watching Citizen AY platform, as ever, you know what we do. I thank you all for joining me, my Igbo BFM brothers, my Middle Belt brothers, and my Oduduwa TV radio. I welcome you on board. Ekale gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ nílé ní lóko ní o eléré àjò ó ti ṣeéṣe fún wa o òmìnira ó tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́ ó tẹ̀ ti tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́ à ń múra lẹ̀ fún Èkìtì lọ́la gbogbo wa ẹ jẹ́ kí a jáde gbogbo àwọn tó bá ẹ sọ kí ekulé kó sọ fún toko pé Èkìtì lọ́la o aláti dé bẹ̀yẹn kérò pọ̀ tomorrow at the rally in Ekiti we will be having Oduduwa TV radio members, state leaders, and Tosin Williams will be live with us here. We'll be doing it via the studio, and of course myself, I'll be there via the studio here, bringing it to you live. What we want you all to do is to please ensure you spread this message. There is something that I want to bring to your attention. There is a voice message that I had tonight that I thought to myself, I have to share. Before I go and do anything else, I heard the message and I almost laughed. But I didn't want to laugh because what I realized was that this is a message. If I played it, if I told you we got the message, you would laugh. You would think I'm joking. But I want you to hear the message. This is from a Fulani man that is clearly angry and scared. Listen.
We are not ready to work with anybody anymore. Anytime now we are going to start retaliating on you. Don't think you have a right to kill our brothers to any level and you still participate in Nigeria.
You see?
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Fuck hell with your local lodge.
Can you hear? Can you hear his language?
You hear?
Let's listen on.
I think you got it. Tell him. Let him go and lodge it in Mbakwe's grave. You understand?
I don't understand what you're saying, sir, but
I'm equally don't understand what you're saying. You are calling for my intellectual. And you are idiot tribe, idiot group, idiot state, people who don't have value for themselves.
Whoa.
Go and manage yourself in your emo. Whoa. Kill the police station, break the prisons. Let's see when the North start retaliating. Where are you going to start? And it's not going to be long. Idiot.
Did you hear that? Carry on.
Don't think you have a right to be Nigerian when you are massacring Nigeria.
Sir, you know that we respect you.
Shut up there, my friend.
Can you hear?
Idiot. Oh, idiot. Ingrate.
Can you hear?
All the houses you have in Abuja, you leave them there. You leave the houses in Port Harcourt. Shut up. Close the wire there. Close the phone there. I'm not participating in anything anymore. I have so many friends in Umo, Frank Bezim, Dr. Okoku, Dr. this, Dr. that.
The book launch is actually in Abuja.
Who are you writing to book launch in Abuja? My friend Foka, go and launch the book in Imo. Don't you have a place in Imo? Go and launch for your Biafra Igbo agenda.
I hope you're hearing.
Go there. Invite anybody who wants to go to Imo and launch. Why do people run to Abuja? Go back to your state. You ingrate Igbo idiots.
Can you hear? This is from a full.
Do you have monopoly of violence?
You see?
Book launch. What are you writing? Start writing today.
Please share,
what you write before is where your story.
Please share.
Just wait. The day North is going to turn on you any moment from now. You will know you are idiot. You are idiot.
Can you hear the
Don't call me for any book launch. I don't pass that level.
Thank you for your concern, sir. Thank you.
I'm not concerned.
For your good wishes. We are grateful.
I've never wished good.
Did you hear that? That was a message we got in. I'm not quite sure who, but you can tell it's a Fulani man. If anybody knows the man's name, let us know. Let me play the message one more time. So and I'll be quiet right through it. I'm going to be quiet. Listen now.
We are not ready to work with anybody anymore. Anytime now we are going to start retaliating on you. Don't think you have a right to kill our brothers to any level and you still participate in Nigeria. Fuck hell with your local lodge. You hear?
Did you hear? Sorry.
I think you got it. Tell him. Let him go and lodge it in Mbakwe's grave. You understand?
I don't understand what you're saying, sir, but
I equally don't understand what you're saying. You are calling for my intellectual. And you are idiot tribe, idiot group, idiot state, people who don't have value for themselves. Go and manage yourself in your emo. Kill the police station, break the prisons. Let's see when the North start retaliating. Where are you going to start? And it's not going to be long. Idiot. Don't think you have a right to be Nigeria when you are massacring Nigeria.
Sir, you know that we respect you.
Shut up there, my friend. Shut up, idiot. Idiot. Ingrate. All the houses you have in Abuja, you leave them there. You leave the houses in Port Harcourt. Shut up. Close the wire there. Close the phone there. I'm not participating in anything anymore. I have so many friends in Umo. Frank Bezim, Dr. Okoku, Dr. this, Dr. that.
The book launch is actually in Abuja.
Who are you writing to book launch in Abuja? My friend, Foka, go and launch the book in Imo. Don't you have a place in Imo? Go and launch for your Biafra Igbo agenda.
Please
go
share.
Invite anybody who wants to go to Igbo and launch. Why do people run to Abuja?
Oh, is it Tafida Mafindi?
Go back to your state.
Let's look at his face then. Tafida Mafindi.
Igbo idiots. You think you have monopoly of violence? Book launch. What are you writing? Start writing today. What you write before is where your story.
I see his face now.
Just wait. The day North is going to turn off on you. Any moment from now, you will know you are out.
Okay.
Don't call me for any book launch. I don't pass that level.
You see? Can you see the veil?
Thank you for your concern, sir. Thank
I'm
you
not concerned
for your good wishes. We are grateful.
I've never wished good.
So I wanted to bring that to your attention before we kicked off this tonight. And somebody mentioned, I don't know if it's true, apparently is a senator from the north. His name apparently is Tafida Mafindi. Let me try and put it up. I'm going to try and put it up as I'm talking to you now, because I just believe in doing things this way. Sometimes, so Tafida Mafindi. Let's put it up so we can see Tafida Mafindi. Let's have a look. Mafindi. So that's the voice apparently of the man that we're hearing. Yerima Easter Tafindi. Is that correct? Tafida Mafindi. So let's have a look at his Twitter page. Let's look at his Twitter page. That is him. That's him. So that's the one that is making the comments that we're seeing. Yerima Easter Tafida Mafindi. I believe is that correct? Are you can I get help? Yeah. Exactly. So I'm showing you this. Now I am actually going to do something. I'm going to leave that picture up, and I want you to listen to those words as you are hearing. Oh, are you live? Are you okay, you can see me. Yes, you can see me. Now, I'm going to play this one. This time I want to play it with the voice. Let me see if I can go bigger. Can I go bigger? Yeah. No, let's go back. So you can see, I'm going to play it and I'll skip through some of it. I want you to hear it with looking at the picture and seeing and hearing the voice. Because we need to make a connection. We need to make a mental connection. Until we start doing that, we're not going to break the hold of the Fulani terrorists who are in government on us. So let's give this a try. Let's do that. Here we go.
We are not ready to work with anybody anymore. Anytime now we are going to start retaliating on you. Don't think you have a right to kill our brothers to any level and you still participate in Nigeria.
Yeah.
in that.
Mm.
Fuck hell with your local lodge.
Can you hear the language
You hear?
from the honorable? The language.
I think you got it. Tell him. Let him go and lodge it in Mbakwe's grave. You understand?
I don't understand what you're saying, sir, but
I'm equally don't understand what you are saying. You are calling for my intellectual. And you are idiot tribe, idiot group, idiot state, people who don't have value for themselves. Go and manage yourself in your Imo. Kill the police station, break the prisons. Let's see where the North start retaliating. Where are you going to start? And it's not going to be long. Idiot. Don't think you have a right to be Nigeria where you are massacring Nigeria.
Sir, you know that we respect you.
Shut up there, my friend. Shut up, idiot. Idiot.
Can you hear?
All the houses you have in Abuja, you leave them there. You leave the houses in Port Harcourt.
So
shut up. Close the wire there. Close the phone there. I'm not participating in anything anymore. I have so many friends in Umo. Frank Bezim, Dr. Okoku, Dr. this, Dr. that.
The book launch is actually in Abuja.
Who are you writing to book launch in Abuja? My friend, go and launch the anybody Imo.
That's it.
Don't you have a place in Imo? Go and launch for your Biafra Igbo agenda. Go there.
Please share.
Invite anybody who wants to go to Igbo and launch. Why do people run to Abuja? Go back to your state. You ingrate Igbo idiots.
Can you see the names as he's
calling? Do you have monopoly of violence? Book launch. What are you writing?
Did you hear?
Start writing today. What you write before is your story. Just wait. The day North is going to turn on you any moment from now. You will know. You know you are out.
So basically,
don't call me for any book launch. I don't pass that level.
So basically, he was in.
Thank you for your concern, sir. Thank you.
I'm not concerned
for your good wishes. We are grateful.
I've never wished good.
Can you hear? That is, he was attacking a woman for inviting him, an Igbo woman for inviting him to a book launch. That is the measure of the kind of level of deep-seated hatred that the Fulanis have for us Southerners. And please, when you're looking at animals, exactly. So when you hear those kind of words spoken by this Tafida, so-called honorable, in fact, is a dishonorable. It is somebody that we should, these are the reasons why I want you to know why we're going for Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, Middle Belt. And we reject unequivocally their attempts to try and merge us into something called United African Republic. They can try all they want. We are not part of it. We don't want it. Now, let me play you. So I just wanted to bring that as a preamble to where I'm going. Now, I want you to listen to how apparently the federal government of Nigeria has decided to ban Twitter because Twitter exposed the fact that our commander-in-chief says we will treat them in the language that they understand. Twitter saw that as a language of threat against citizens of Nigeria by its own president and promptly removed that tweet. And guess what? Our own president has banned Twitter in country of Nigeria. RIP. All of this is making it certain. The comments we had now by this man, by this Tafida, Tafida Mafindi, and the fact that Lai Mohammed and the president are all, they're banning Twitter. They are making it more certain that RIP Nigeria is getting closer by the day. It is so close that they are panicking. They are even giving us a new flag. Some crazy flag with United Arab Republic, whatever they call it. I'll try and see if I can bring that to your attention later on. And you'll see what I did to it. Now, let's go here. I want you to listen to the words here. Listen to this now. You're going to hear Akinbaloye talk about just for a few minutes, and I want to talk about that extensively. I want you to listen to the so-called former presidential APC candidate and listen to the words he said. And this is why we cannot be in one nation, in a nation with the Fulani terrorists who are in power. We can't. And that is done and dusted. Listen to this.
This dissolution is coming less than 3 weeks after the to Twitter, the social media.
Now listen. So you can see Lai Mohammed with his mouth saying suspension Nigeria's Twitter suspension and Nigeria's peace. That is it. That is the intro.
Social media platform Twitter being used to undermine the nation's corporate. The Inspector General of Police, as it has been confirmed by the Police Council, speaks on the security situation in the southeast region of the country.
Please share.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Okimale at Channels Television studio in Abuja, the nation's capital. We have to move very fast because the conversation is what you are talking about. And you trust this platform that whatever is breaking, whatever you're talking about is what will bring you perspectives on, give you some education, and give you insight to take a decision as a citizen. So tonight, we give you insight into what the government has done today to Twitter, the social media platform. You may even be watching on Twitter. You may be tweeting tonight. But what happens to the future of that social media engine? That's what we'll be talking tonight. So before we get into that, the Police Council has today confirmed Mr. Usman Alkali Baba as Inspector General of Police. This comes almost 2 months after President Muhammadu Buhari approved his appointment. The Minister of Police Affairs says President Buhari has asked the IGP to do everything necessary to reduce the spate of insecurity in the country. The IGP is assuring Nigerians that the situation in the southeast region is being checked. And in similar manner, in Imo State, so talking about issues of...
That's the audio general. Audio general. He never speaks. A lady was asking for the audio general to come out and speak to the people. But he will not listen because he's an audio general. He's an audio president. He's a president that says to the people, we will treat you in the manner that you understand, which is a veiled threat against Southerners. Make no mistake, that threat you might think is only for Biafrans, but believe you me, it is for Biafrans and Middle Belt and Yoruba people alike. We need to see it in that light. That is the only way we can go forward confidently. Get Yoruba Nation, get Biafra Nation, get Middle Belt. Let's carry on.
Security, Governor Hope Uzodinma has dissolved all special advisors, senior special assistants, and special assistants. This dissolution is coming less than 3 weeks after the governor dissolved the State Executive Council, retaining just 8 commissioners out of 28. But before we get into the suspension of Twitter in Nigeria, what this means for our civil space, Let's check out some of your political roundup stories.
There we go. We'll just give you a few minutes.
The Director of Publicity and Advocacy for the Northern Elders Forum, Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed, has blamed the political elites in the country for the insecurity situation in the nation. Mr. Baba Ahmed was the lead speaker at the symposium organized by the Supreme Council of Sharia in Nigeria.
Listen, did you hear that? The Supreme Council of Sharia. Are we a Fulani nation? Are we a Muslim nation or what? We should be secular. These guys are trying to impose Sharia. You know, we're not having this. This began with the Abuja Declaration that Babangida took us into. Anyway, that's another story. But these are evidence of clear reasons why we are going for Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, Middle Belt. Watch on.
As we speak, ethnic and religious identities have been thrust to the forefront of the struggle for power, and they threaten to settle an arrangement which has progressively failed to develop beyond its ideals.
Why are we giving religion prominence? Why are we giving religion prominence? I tell you why. Because it's used as a way to control the minds of the people. I'm going to say this now. Both Christian and Islam. These are things that are being used. That's why they bring this to try and say, oh, pray. Nonsense. The real problem is the fraudulent constitution. And that constitution is a fraud. Like I told you all, go and look at decree number 24 of 1999. There is nobody in the South, no Middle Beltant, no Middle Belt people. The Middle Belt people did not sign it. The Biafrans did not sign it. Yorubas did not sign it. We did not go for. There was no referendum, and this was an imposition by the Fulanis. So we have, as it stands now, with the Nina's declaration, we do not have a constitution. And we do not respect nor we view the fraudulent 1999 constitution signed by General Abdul Salam, which is actually a decree, as anything, a basis upon which we can have a governance. We need to dissolve this contraption. We need Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, Middle Belt now. But let's watch on for a few minutes.
FCC Chairman Abdul Rashid Bauer says Nigeria has suffered greatly from the effects of corruption and illicit financial flows, and he is asking for the help of the United Nations and other countries in fighting the scourge. Mr. Bauer says there is an urgent need to fight illicit financial flows and
look at this fool I do now with all these lies. It's all straight lies. Straight lies. We're just going to go through the news a little bit just to hear bits of it. But we're going to the real nub of the matter. You'll hear the useless former presidential candidate of APC say the nonsense I saying. Listen on.
Is the cause of repatriating looted assets back to the country. The EFCC chair was speaking at the special session of the General Assembly of the UN on challenges and measures to prevent and combat corruption in New York.
Are encouraged to join the fight against corruption and contribute their quota.
The people who are immersed, they are swimming. The Fulani terrorists in government, they are swimming in corruption. In fact, they are the proponents of corruption because they circumvent the rule of law. They change the rules. They are complete. Honestly, we are going. I hope you are seeing the reasons why we are going. I hope those of you who believe in one Nigeria, after the comments made by the useless audio one, telling you that we will treat you in the manner that you understand, to citizens, that's the last straw. That should be the last straw for every single one Nigeria to wake up and know that you, as a Southerner, your life is in danger. Listen on.
In this regard, one instance of such whistleblowing led to the recovery of over 43 million United States dollars in 2017.
And where's the money? Where's the money again? Where's the money? Where's the money again? I beg, come on.
And the All Progressives Congress in Ondo State has expelled former governorship aspirants of the party in the 2020 governorship election. The two members are Mrs. Jumoke Anifowoshi Ajasin and Mr. Nathaniel Adoju Telegon. The party's state executive says it took the decision after the report of a disciplinary committee.
let's make a quick stop telling you that the Nigerian Senate today continued the national public hearing on Constitution Amendment. Today, more presentations were made and the committee gave presenters from across the world some space to vent what they think will be necessary into the Constitution.
A word on the Constitution. Like I said, we don't have a Constitution. I want everybody to understand. I've put the books out. This, I kid you not. You type in 20 number promulgation decree. Let me say it slowly. Promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. And that is what you are being ruled by till today. And every successive government has sworn on oath to protect that decree. That is what is happening. That is why we can no longer be part of one Nigeria. And I hope as many so-called Nigerians, Yorubas, Southerners, as many of you, I hope that you understand why we need to break away from contractual Nigeria. We must break away because it is a fraud. So anybody that comes to any amendment that they put before you is to lure you into a false sense of security. The only thing that is going to happen, and it's going to be done by the UN, is a referendum. A referendum where the people will decide if they're staying in the contraction or going. That is it. And the awareness in Yoruba land, in Biafra land, and in Middle Belt now, increasingly so, is such that the government of the day, they are panicking. They are panicking. I'll show you something when I get a minute. Let me just first get this here. So let's carry on.
Some of them made their contributions virtually. The issue of Nigerians living in diaspora was prominent as several groups conversed for proper consideration of the Nigerians abroad in election and other aspects.
By the way, no elections. No elections. There is no elections. There will be no elections in 2023 because of our focus now. You cannot have elections on a decree. And by the way, I want to bring to your attention, I don't know if you're aware, Abdullahi Malami was attempting to impose martial law on us. Just yesterday, when he was found out, he started making excuses that he didn't say it. They are trying to impose martial law. That's because they know the game is up. We need to go. We're going for Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, and Middle Belt. But let's carry on. So we are saying no to whatever constitutional amendment they're doing here. It's not going to work. The Constitution is a fraud because it is a decree. The only way any constitution will hold is what Chile did. They put a document before the people and they said, okay, have a referendum. If you vote for it, if you want amendments, then we will pass it. And that's what they did. We don't have that process now, so no, we're not interested. Listen on. Now, anyway, I don't know what you will hear this here we go.
And now to our main conversation for tonight, everyone.
Listen.
The Nigerian government has suspended microblogging site and social media engine Twitter indefinitely. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, announced the suspension in a statement issued by his office today. The government cites the persistent use of the platform for activities that are capable of undermining Nigeria's corporate existence. The government is also considering licensing social media operations in Nigeria. The statement said the minister has directed the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) to immediately commence the process of licensing all OTT and social media operations in Nigeria.
So now, ní kékeré mo kàn máa sọ lórí ìròyìn yẹn àwọn ìjọba àpapọ̀ ìjọba amúnisìn wọ́n ti paná iléeṣẹ́ Twitter àwọn ní pé wọ́n ní lè máa gbé ọ̀rọ̀ wọn sí orí afẹ́fẹ́ fún àwọn èèyàn wa kán máa gbọ́ èdè kán lè máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí nílẹ̀ wa náà àmọ́ wọn ò dádúró torí àwọn èèyàn ní ọ̀nà kan náà tán lè fi gbà tán lè máa fi rí Twitter wọn ò dádúró irọ́ náà pa ọ̀lọ́pọ̀ àwọn sì wà ní 70 táwọn lè pa gbogbo èdè táwọn máa pa TV èdè táwọn máa pa gbogbo èdè tẹ́ ànígbọ̀n kan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé ayé ìwọ̀n tí wọ́n ṣàlàyé nìyẹn ní ṣókí ẹ ṣeun ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bẹ́ẹ̀ tó lọ.
Let's now get some perspective into this matter. I have joining me a communication and information communication and technology expert, the executive director.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pause it here. We have a special guest in the house with us, Sam Adeyemoye. Today is his birthday. I've been busy all day, but since he's in the house tonight, I'm going to sing to him. I want to sing a special happy birthday to him before we progress. So permit me just for a few seconds, few minutes. So I'm going to sing it. Goes like this. Sam Amotekun. Oh, we are giving this. This is for you especially. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Amotekun. Happy birthday to you. Nice one, bro. Keep the spirit going. We will get there with Yoruba Nation, with you and every one of us going forward every step. I'm with you every step of the way. I wish you many more happy years. Enjoy. Look forward to Yoruba Nation because it will become a reality. And we know we will get there with you and everybody else next to us. Once again, I wish Moteko a happy birthday. Thank you very much for doing that. Happy birthday. We'll talk later on. Okay, now let's listen to the story and to the ban. Don't forget, this is about a ban by Twitter by the useless Fulani government on Twitter. There we go.
Of Paradigm Initiative, Mr. Gbenga Sheson, which joins us virtually from Lagos. And here in the Abuja studio is a former presidential aspirant of the APC and CEO of IPI Solutions, Mr. Adamu Garaba. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
I think it's going to be good for us to begin with some education on what has happened today. Let me begin with Mr. Gbenga Sheson. As an expert, help us make sense of what this move by the federal government means. My Twitter is still working. I'm still getting some tweets. What does this move technically and literally, what does this mean, this suspension?
Now, before he speaks, Ejo mo fẹ́ kẹ́ fetí sí bí ọ̀gbẹ́ni ó sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú ọgbọ́n pẹ̀lú làákàyè ó sọ̀rọ̀ bí ẹni tí orí ẹ̀ pé tó mọ nǹkan tó yẹ kó ṣẹlẹ̀. This man here, the man that he introduced, spoke eloquently, clearly, and communicated in a very clear manner. Now, when they bring in Adamu, I want you to notice the sharp contrast, the total contrast, and the cow brain thinking of somebody supposed to be a businessman. Who is Adamu? Listen on. Okay. I'll forward it a little bit. Oh, shit. Okay.
Services or people providing services over the internet. But it is weird because they do not fall within the jurisdiction of the NBC. These are licensees of the NCC, the Nigerian Communications Commission. So I think we need a lot more information from government, on how exactly they want to do this, because it sounds to me right now like, an empty barrel that is really making a lot of noise.
Yeah, please share this broadcast.
If I get you right, Twitter will still be working. People will still be able to have access.
Yes, people can have access even if government goes ahead to block Twitter in Nigeria. That's what circumvention is all about. Basically, all you need is to download a VPN. There are many VPN apps. There are many people who provide, that service either for free or at the cost, or some for free. And using that VPN on your mobile device or on your any other device, you can still gain access to Twitter. So in a way, it's a waste of time and resources for government to think it can block people from using Twitter in Nigeria. It's like a cat chasing its own tail. It's not going to happen. It's not possible, because circumvention is definitely an option for people that want to use Twitter.
There you go. You see, it's a useless
Get into the matter which led to this face-off between the government and Twitter. My other guest here, Mr. Adamu Garaba, is one that is perhaps happy at this moment because you've been fighting Twitter and you're not happy with the operations of Twitter, and you're happy today, isn't it?
Yes, I'm happy. Seriously. And it's clearly showing that actions.
The full animal is happy. He's happy that they banned Twitter. Even though they were telling him just moments ago that even if he banned Twitter, people can still get to see his Twitter. They can get on Twitter via VPN. He's still happy. That is your Fulani brained thinking there. Carry on.
Cannot just happen without consequences. And Twitter, if you study their mode for the last 2 years, they have been more of an anti-Nigerian force, pro-destruction of Nigeria, than actually a platform that's supposed to advocate for freedom of expression of Nigerians. Because if you look at what happened now with the suspension of maybe removal of some of the tweets of the president, I can't see any very strong word, a vile word like that of that criminal Nnamdi Kanu that has been left to still be available on Twitter. Meanwhile, a president of a country...
Can you see, he said criminal Nnamdi Kanu. And this is... I mean, just listen on.
Who is democratically and legitimately elected to be the leader of a nation, making a statement, talking, giving a language, we will communicate in the language that they understand, and that becomes a very serious issue to Twitter, and violating their rules. We don't know what kind of rule is that, and then they decided to embarrass the country, not the president. So therefore, they have to be suspended. You know, as you rightly said, I took them to court during ENSA's process simply because I noticed exactly what these guys are trying to do is to break this country. They tend to amplify a lot of fake news and raise a lot of tension in the street, making the country to be more destroyed. So the best solution is to see how we can arrest them. And we did that. So at that moment, so many Nigerians don't understand. They came attacking me, insulting me, calling me a series of names simply because they thought I was going against ENSAS. I wasn't against ENSAS. I was against a tool that is planning to destroy Nigeria. And we have seen that very clearly. We have a very serious crisis in the southeast where these guys are destroying fundamental institutions of Nigerian democracy.
Can you imagine? He went straight for southeast. What about the northeast? What about the north? What about the entire north? That is waging a war on the entire south. What about that? He didn't talk about the Fulani terrorists. He didn't talk about Mieti Allah. He didn't talk about the Boko Haram. None of that. None of that. Nothing. Instead, he straight goes for IPOB that's protecting the people from the attacks by the Fulani terrorists that the government, his APC government, have given arms to kill non-Fulanis. Can you see the hypocrisy? I hope you can see the hypocrisy. This is why we need to break contraption Nigeria. This is sheer hypocrisy. Watch on.
INEC offices, police institution, courts. They are killing people on the street, destroying people's properties. And then Twitter is behind them. That's why I used to call them, I think Twitter is like kind of an IPOB online machine. Because what they do more is supporting IPOB much more than the government. And IPOB, everyone knows they are anti-Nigeria. Their target is to destroy Nigeria. This even left somebody to be asking questions.
Correction. No, that's not a target. Your government, you and your Fulani cow-brained leaders, you are the ones destroying this. I've said it. By your own hands, you shall destroy the contraption that you've used to enslave us in the south. And we are going to make sure that we complete the job by dismantling that contraption. You are already panicking. You've already now going to look at creating a United Arab Republic. This is you know the game is up. All of this is just trying to, you're panicking because you know that we are not going to accept this anymore. Listen on.
Questions. We have Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the current director of WTO, on the board of Twitter. Is she part of the instigators of Twitter? Why won't she call them to order when they are talking against Nigeria? Why is it that we never had a single tweet or any comment from Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala about the activities of Twitter? Is she supporting IPOB?
Can you see what this man is doing? Can you see what this man is doing? Now, yet when we say that his government, they've put in Fulani people, Muslim Fulanis, in all ministerial posts except for 2 posts, and it's the healthcare. 2 posts. Everything else is all Fulani. And you are talking about, you supporting IPOB. She's not supposed, in the business world, she wouldn't interfere in the normal running of the business, even though she's on the board. That's what you don't understand. But that's the thinking. That's the cow brain thinking that we're saying we don't want any part of. Go and keep that in the Futajalan or wherever you come from. We don't want it in Yoruba land or Biafra land or Middle Belt. Yoruba nation here. Yoruba nation now. Biafra nation now. Middle Belt nation now. Listen on.
These are the kind of things that we need to be very, very clear about.
Into the conversation.
It is very, very necessary because this is very serious. You can't have an organization, a platform company, a company that is profit making, that is even making profit out of Nigeria, that has its massive users in Nigerian domain, that decided to carry its office to Ghana and employ Ghanaians against Nigerians, and then decided to keep sponsoring content against Nigeria and Nigeria's interests all the time. And then we decided to sit down and keep it. So we have to ask some questions. It's not all about Twitter. It's about the corporate existence of a country from a vile individual that is constantly calling the blood of me as a Fulani man and the blood of all Nigerians and any other person that claims to be Nigeria. So
no, I'm not a Nigerian. I'm telling you confidently, I am a Yoruba man. I am not a Nigerian. Like I said, I am not renewing my Nigerian passport because that is a fraud. The very constitution that you said you will have is actually a decree. And I'm not going to own a passport for a fraudulent nation. Nigeria is a fraudulent construct. It's a fraudulent construct that we all in the South, we must all band together and ensure we dismantle so that we can go about and create nations, viable nations, Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, Middle Belt, and others that are going to be functioning, and we will trade together and build our people up. Nigeria has become a slave camp for Southerners. You heard me right. Nigeria has become a slave camp for Southerners. And as we speak, the Fulanis allow more Fulanis to come in to attack us. You had that Tafinda or whatever telling us that we are still going to be attacked soon in the South. That's the problem that we face. RIP One Nigeria.
A very serious issue. It's not something we need to take it lightly. And that is why I am particularly very happy that the government has seen Twitter for who they are and decided to take this action.
All right. Yes. We need to take a breather. But when we come back, there's much more to talk about government's decision, what this means for Twitter. Are people getting money from Twitter? What economically this means for those who are earning any living? Because there are a lot of reactions also in this regard. What does it mean for the civil space in Nigeria? And of course, those are saying that it may and it may not be extended in terms of in the indefinite strike. Maybe it will be reviewed. We look at those perspectives when we return from this break, everyone. Join us again.
So I'm going to forward it a bit.
President of a country that is divided at the moment. Listen, Twitter has rules. I had Mr. Garba, right? Mr. Garba saying earlier that maybe one of the board members should have intervened because, he's a Nigerian and things like that. I suspect maybe you run a one-man company, but companies don't run that way. Boards don't dictate to people what they should do. There are set rules. Twitter is a commercial service that people sign up to. And there are rules, there are community standards that everyone subscribes to before joining Twitter. And I think there are two levels here. One is the level of the community standards on Twitter that says that anything that promotes hate, which was very clear within the context of what the president was saying and how he said it and what he has said before and what has happened before. I mean, it's a shame that a president would even say that at a time when the memorial of the whole, of Biafra, the idea, and of course, even the things that happened in the Civil War were being discussed online. But secondly, Twitter did not act by itself. And I think this is really important for everyone to understand. Twitter acted based on reports. Nigerians reported that tweet and considered it hateful.
And I guess what? The ones that, the Nigerians that my good friend here will be talking about, I can guarantee you, they are Southerners. That is why you know. This is why I'm telling you now, we can't be one nation anymore with these people. The people that would have made the complaints against the government because of this, the incendiary thinking of our commander-in-chief, so-called commander-in-chief, audio one. That is why, and people rightly made the complaints. And I bet you 99% of them will be Southerners. Just wanted to put that in there. Let's carry on.
And then the process starts of review. If it was reviewed by Twitter and it was discovered to be hateful, then it's taken down. If it's not hateful, and I'll give you a parallel example. During the NSAS protest, I'm making my protest now. During the NSAS protests, the Nigerian flag that was stained with blood, that was used on Twitter, was flagged as hate, and it was removed. But an appeal process went through, and the flag was restored. So if the president and all of his aides and his fans believe that what he said is right, and not lacking in empathy and not full of hate, then they can appeal that. But the fact that the government has now, put up the big gun in their minds, the government has now put the big gun, which is quite silly, because you cannot say that you're banning that service because people can still have access to it. But clearly, that statement should have been flagged, and I think there's precedence for us to understand here. When in January, when earlier in the year there were flaggings, of accounts of the President of the United States, and also the same thing that happened in Uganda. It was something that people were saying that even people who support this government were beginning to give that as an example to say that, well, this is flagged. Why didn't Twitter flag the things that were said during the NSAS protest? And to the question, and I think it's important, if you allow me to quickly peel some nonsense I heard earlier about NSAS protesters being people.
I like the way. Can you see how we just swatted off the nonsense government of Adamu? He said the nonsense that I had earlier. Let me play it back a little bit, just to roll it back a touch. Now listen on. Listen a bit.
The expert and the CEO of Paradigm Initiative.
Sorry. Say that you're banning that service because people can still have access to it. But clearly, that statement should have been flagged. And I think there's precedence for us to understand here. When in January, when earlier in the year there were flaggings, of accounts of the President of the United States, and also the same thing that happened in Uganda, it was something that people were saying that even people who support this government were beginning to give that as an example to say that, well, this is flagged. Why didn't Twitter flag the things that were said during the NSAS protest? And to the question, and I think it's important, if you allow me to quickly peel some nonsense I heard earlier about NSAS protesters being people who are against Nigeria and want Nigeria destroyed. I think it's far from it. The reason why people are asking questions and saying, don't kill us, the reason why people are speaking their minds on social media is because they want a better country. If people did not want a better country, they would keep quiet and behave like zombies, as Abuja expects. But the fact that we're in a democracy, which I believe everyone agrees, we started in 1999 after the breaks and hiccups that we had. If we're truly in a democracy, then there is...
I'm sorry, there we differ. We're not in a democracy. They appeared. They sold a decree to us in the clothes of a democracy. They sold the decree dressed up as a constitution to us to make us believe we were in a democracy. But what we have is a unitary government. In fact, it is a military decree government. They can change decisions, they can change laws at will. And there's nothing we can do about that. On that, we disagree fundamentally. ICT expert. I fully respect what you're saying, but on this particular point, because I need to make that point right there. Because until we all collectively agree in the South that what we have is a military degree based on Promulgation Decree 24 of 1999. Many people are not aware. I'm tasking everybody watching, please make sure you get that information out. Tell your family and friends to look up Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999. It's the basis upon which the fraudulent constitution that they talk about emanates. It's upon that basis, and it's a fraud because we, the people, we never had a referendum to decide to accept that fraudulent constitution. There was no amendment made. We never had a say. This was an imposition, I wanted to make that point. But aside from that, I am in agreement with my brother here, so let's carry on.
No reason why anyone should not be able to speak their mind. Like I said earlier, if the president has a problem with Twitter, then he can take his case to Twitter and appeal as a company. And nobody should, say funny things like a board member should be intervening, because that's what one-man companies or one-woman companies do. That's not what corporations do. But in this case, Twitter has become...
So let me bring Mr. Adam Garuba back into the conversation. I'd like you to respond and also perhaps put this into the packet of your response. The PDP, the opposition party, has reacted. They said, look, the president and the government should not do that, and that they're pushing Nigerians to the wall. One of the chieftains of the PDP, the former Senate President Bukola Saraki, says this should not be the response from the president of a nation with a vibrant youthful population for whom Twitter is part of their daily lives and a source of livelihood, income and livelihood. This must be reviewed. Are Nigerians getting their livelihood? Are some Nigerians getting livelihood there? I'd like you to react to all of that.
Yeah, the thing is, I think PDP is just trying to take advantage of the current political climate against the interests of national security. The issue of information adulteration that we are seeing so much on social media is actually a question of national security. Almost 50% of war are won on media. And the 21st century has shown us that social media is very pivotal to victory of war and destruction of countries. You need to check the history of what brought down Mubarak's regime. It was Facebook.
The fact of the matter is that the Fulanis are clearly scared. You see, they did not countenance on those of us in diaspora to be making noise, to make a lot of noise, to awaken, not only noise, the noise that we've been making in the social media collectively has been so loud that our people back home are now beginning to question their governance. And that, in a sense, is what governance is about. Governance is about putting yourself in a position whereby the people that you serve, they can question you. The absence of the questioning was what the decree ensured. The decree that is still in existence today, Decree 24 of 99, ensured that nobody dare question authority. That is why you hear Nigerians talk about, I'm a constituted authority. Because the psychological makeup of each and every one of them has been programmed to accept that once somebody who is in power speaks, nobody can question them, even if they are wrong. And that has been the problem. And that's what the Fulanis have imposed on us. They imposed a unitary system. They imposed a military decree on us. And they're trying to now impose a martial law. But we are going, whether they like it or not, we are going to dismantle Contraption Nigeria. RIP1 Nigeria. It has to be dismantled. It is a fraud. Now let's listen on. I'm sorry if I'm emotive, but I need to be very clear about what I'm saying here.
Revolution. Similarly, Gaddafi, it was purely social media. That's where they now advocated their head, and they rose a tension that destroyed Libya, that we see Libya today. Similarly, Syria, about 600,000 people died. All the protest starts on social media. This is issue of national security. It's not a civil conversation anymore. And what Twitter has been using consistently.
Let me just stop there. If you notice in his discussion, not once has he talked about how the government has been giving Fulani terrorists guns to kill Southerners. The government of the day. I showed a video yesterday. There was a young man, he's a young boy. He's not even 11. He's got an AK-47. He's even got bullets, and he was showing on live camera how we can operate this thing. And he's a Fulani boy. But he won't talk about that. Instead, he talks about what we in the South use to get ourselves information to even the odds, because they've taken our weapons. What the Fulanis have, effectively, is the second amendment law that the U.S. have for every of its citizens. You walk around with guns, you have the right to bear arms. That right to bear arms in the face of Fulani terrorists has been taken away from Southerners. Every single Southerner. This is why I'm telling you confidently that we need to dismantle Contraption Nigeria. But let's carry on with the story. I don't want to deviate too much, but I'm just bringing some really key points in here.
is to take advantage of the civil rights that Nigerians have to be able to advocate against the interests of the country. We cannot allow, I think this is the time that government even supposed to look at this much more deeply, because the most stable countries in the world are the countries that are not on that control and regulate the flow of social media. Like China, for instance. China is one of the most stable countries in the world simply because they decided not to allow these foreign social platforms in their land. So
that is a very telling statement. China. He was quick to say China. And how of the contracts that these Fulanis are signing. Let's see, I'd be interested to know what percentage of that contract is going to China. I suspect you'll be looking at 75 to 80% of the contract they're signing going to China. And China is oppressive. We all know that. So that's where he's leaning. That's yet more reason why we need to dismantle contract in Nigeria. We are not China. We are Yoruba people. We are Biafrans. We are Middle Belt. And we will speak. You do not. We are not your cows. We are not your cows, and you don't have the right to tell us what to do in our land. You are guests, and we are going to push you out. RIP1 Nigeria. Listen on. Another point to make there.
They can allow Chinese people to express themselves using Chinese culture in Chinese language, using Chinese way of life without any adulteration from other foreign alien cultures that may adulterate their system and cause them against each other. And if you look at that and then come back to Hong Kong, where it is a Chinese and English kind of hybrid, you will see very clearly because they have access to this kind of social media. There is constant constant problem. And similarly, if you go back to Russia, Russia became very stable when Putin decided to enact laws to be able to shut down these social platforms that are trying to cause problems in their country. And Russia became very stable.
And you perhaps don't think that this might be a gagging of the civil or a trying to restrict.
He's trying to hark back to the days when the Fulani with their military kakri will start playing military music and they will shut everything down and they will go, I am the general, I have now taken over, now the people, we've restored order, we've taken over because of corruption, the same corruption they'll carry on. Babangida did it, Abdul Salam did it, Abacha did it, all of them. They under the lie of trying to take care of the people. They steal from the people. They impose themselves on the people. They even when Abiola won, that tells you we want nothing to do with the likes of this man or the likes of him in our nations. Yoruba nation is here to stay. God bless Yoruba nation. God bless Biafra nation. God bless Middle Belt nation. We don't care about Nigeria. RIP1 Nigeria.
No, when there is a case of national security, everything should pend. Why? Because what we are facing through now, you look at the problem with terrorism, you look at the problem with banditry, you look at the problem of kidnapping, you look at the problem of IPOP, you look at almost in every sector of the country, in every section of the country, there is crisis. And then we have so many criminals that leverage this internet to defraud people, spoiling the country's image, doing all those kind of things, and suddenly we now feel like...
your people in government... they are the ones doing it. Ask Malami where's the $4.2 million that he was pounds that he was supposed to give back from the Ibori. Now they can't find it. Him and the accountant general, they cannot provide that money. The money is supposed to go to the state. They were saying, oh, they were going to use the fixed route. Where's the money? Oh, haven't received it. So don't start. This is all. Look, let's do everything, please. I hope you are all seeing why we need to break. I'm showing you all of this so that we all are very clear why we must dismantle contraption Nigeria. The likes of this man wants to oppress you, to silence you, to make sure that your rights are taken away from you as citizens in your own nation, in your own land. And he, a guest, now lords it over you. We say no more. No more. Listen on.
Like this is civil.
But America, from what I see, they called some of the operators and the executives of these social media giants. They called them to parliament and had conversation about not restricting or not banning them but getting some restrictions that will not allow this kind of hate or this kind of situation.
The truth of the matter
you think that the government should go in that direction?
Seriously, the truth of the matter is social media platforms, no matter how we want to see it, is a political platform. And the American government and the American system is using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, and co to do espionage. Now, all those gimmicks of calling them to be able to answer in the name of transparency does not invalidate the fact that the FBI, the CIA, and co are still using these people to be able to advocate the American interests. What of Nigerian interests? Can Nigerian Parliament summon Jack Dorsey to come? But under which jurisdiction? Which
RIP1 Nigeria. Nigeria is dead. It is dead. And so is your so-called United Arab Republic, United African Republic. It is dead on arrival. RIP1 Nigeria. We don't want it. I am not a Nigerian. I am a Yoruba man. And my fellow brothers are Biafrans, and my Middle Belt brothers are Middle Belt, and they will choose a name of their own. But you are not telling me Nigeria is an imposition. It's an imposition which we must collectively as Southerners dismantle.
No.
Yeah. So what we wonder, you are a member of the APC.
Yes, I am.
Your party used this for the campaigns.
They used this for the campaign,
and but perhaps it helped you. It helped your chances.
It helps the chances of the campaign, and now it is much worse than it helps the chances of the campaign. So the best solution is for us to consider local platforms.
All right.
We have local OTTs. My company has been a local OTT too. That's why, in fact, sometimes people feel like the reason why I was going against Twitter was because we built a Crowy application that is doing something much more than even their own is doing.
You pay for the advertisement. So, let's go for to allow Mr. Gbenga Sheson to react to some of the things that he said. I was asking Mr. Adamu Garba if he thinks that this is not a form of gagging or restricting the civic space. What do you think?
Of course, Sean. I think this is even clear to everyone. This is gagging of free people and of the civic space. And I think it's important to say three clear things. And number one is that this lazy argument that social media has helped people to start protests and all that, I think it is intellectually lazy. Beyond that, social media and other digital platforms have unfrozen social mobility because people cannot go on radio or TV or go to newspapers without NBC throwing its armor. They need a platform where they can express themselves. People like Mr. Garba, who do not like freedom and democracy, can go to Russia. I think, COVID rules have been relaxed now, so he can get a visa and travel. Yes. But for Nigeria, which is our country and a democratic country, we clearly want to allow citizens to be able to speak about the things they want to speak about. That's number one. And I'll come back to this issue of national security, another interesting excuse. If Nigeria, this is my second point, if Nigeria is fully a giant and Mr. Lai Mohammed is trying to throw his weight around with Twitter and all that, I think it definitely shows that we're not a country that wants to reason properly. Why are we busy chasing other countries' innovations and trying to clamp down on them? Why are there no technological innovative platforms like that? I mean, I'm not talking of platform like the one that was mentioned earlier. I've seen the reviews on the App Store and it speaks to to how useful or user it is. But I'm saying that we need this country. We need to decide.
You see the way he put him down. See, Adamu Gabara Adamu, he might not be able to read to that because he might not be able to read, but that was a put down, and that is how it should be. Let's carry on.
Do we want to create a climate of fear and be chasing people's innovations in other countries? Or do we want to create an environment in Nigeria to create such platforms that can be used in other countries?
Because we're out of time now, Mr. Thank you so much, Mr. Gbenga Sheson and Mr. Adamu Garba. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming tonight. Well, that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimbale. Bye-bye.
So, I'm going to post that now. Now, I want to show you something. I want to show you a flag. And I'm going to show you with something on it that I did. Now, okay, anyway, please, the only one more thing I'd like to say about what Gbenga Sheson said. Please, make sure this message gets to everybody you know. Nigeria is not, N-O-T, is not a democracy. It gives the appearance of democracy, but it is not a democracy. We are in fact under military decree. And that is evidenced by section 24 of the 1999 Constitution, that the Military Provisional Ruling Council that General Abdulsalam Abubakar put together, they gave themselves the power to remove the following words from what you call the Constitution. The full word should read, Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999. What you will read on your Constitution right now, I will bet my life on it. Go and open your Constitution right now. Type it. Go to www.citizenera.org. See it. What you will see on that Constitution is it will only simply say the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999. That's it. That's the deceit right there. So, somebody's trying to call in. And let me just 1 second, please. Hello, I'm on a live broadcast right now. Hello. Moa, I'm on a live broadcast as we speak right now. Who's speaking?
Okay, I'll call you back, Mr. Aliu, later.
Okay, Esho, sir. Esho. Hold on. Okay. So what we want to do right now, what I'm trying to make sure is, please be very, very clear. I want this to be very clear, because the more we can tell people and make them aware that the foundation of that nation called the Constitution is a fraud, then we are likely to make sure that those who still believe in one Nigeria will wake up from their sleep and join us and dismantle contract for Nigeria. That is a task for each and every one of us. That is a task that we must sign up to unequivocally. We need to sign up to that. So I wanted to bring that to your attention, but everything else Ben Lashes said is correct, except for that. Nigeria is not a democracy. It is a military nation. We are under military decree. And in fact, every successive government have to swear allegiance to that Decree 24 of 1999. They swear allegiance that they will not change it. That is why any amendment that they come up with will never happen, because they have sworn, the Fulanis, they put themselves in all positions. They will never let it change. The only way to dismantle it is when we go our separate ways. So I urge you all, please make that clear. You know, why did they cut just because? Yes, exactly. Because the truth is coming out. Exactly. So in fact, you know what? Let me show you as you're on screen right now. Let me just quickly do something. I'll show you. I've got a minute or so to do. Please, tomorrow, watch out. Now, here we go. I want you to see this. This is the one I want to show you. I want you to see. I did this deliberately. There's a flag there, but I have put dead on arrival, because they're trying to bring a new flag called United African Republic. And I have put a sign, a big sign, dead on arrival. And you see, at the bottom, they've got Yoruba flag. It's a Yoruba head. At the top, they've got Biafra. In the middle, they've got an Arabic writing signifying Fulani. Again, in the center of it. We categorically say no. Yoruba nation, we are going for 1,000%. So let me, for those of you that were asking about the Constitution, let me just show you this documentation again, because it is very important when you are asked this question. It's how you talk about this and the knowledge of what you're saying, and being able to disseminate that information clearly and being able to show them to where to go is of immense importance. It is of immense importance. So let's go here. Let me go to screen. Okay, here we go. Thank you. So I'm going to make that small. Can I? Yeah, I'll do that. And I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to make, can I make that bigger there? Yeah. So I'm going to, no, not that one. But I'm trying to, okay. In fact, let me just do this for you. So I'm going to do this. And I'll make it bigger, because I want you to see it. Now, please, those of you asking, there is a part of the Constitution that you will see. You see, on the top again, and I'll go through it again. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Promulgation Decree, Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria. That's what you will see. Now, I want you to take you down. I will take you down to the page below. Sorry, I'm going to just, sorry. Where is it now? I'm going to take you down. Let me take you to the page below. This is the bit that you need to understand. So, it says here, and I want you to listen to the word. The first section says, now therefore, the federal government hereby decrees as follows. There shall be for Nigeria a constitution which shall be set out, which shall be as set out in the schedule to this decree. So that is like you're locking somebody in. You cannot, you see, it says it shall be set out. It didn't say, oh, maybe it's a framed document, it can move, it can shape. It said it shall be as set out in the schedule to this decree. So are you following? So that is what we are. This is only one. Yes. So this is a very important information I'm telling you right here. So that is the, when I tell you that each successive government, they have to comply with this. That's what I mean. The very first line says, now therefore, the federal government hereby decrees as follows. There shall be for Nigeria a constitution which shall be set out as in the schedule, set out in the schedule to this decree. So when something is set out, it doesn't give you room for maneuver. It does not give you any room for maneuver. You comply with it, lock, stock, and barrel. It is rigid. That is what that means. And that is what they have done. Each and every person has been told to, each and every successive government has been told, no, this is our constitution, because they are Fulanis in all of the military positions. They will not allow anybody, even if you wanted to as a southerner, to make changes. You cannot, because they will not let you. And that is a very important point that I've just put out in front of you. Let me read it again, and I want you to share this with people, and I'll see if I can cut this snippet out and talk about it in a little bit more detail. It says, now therefore, the federal military government hereby decrees as follows. There shall be for Nigeria a constitution which shall be as set out in the schedule of the decree. So that means that decree, that schedule, they won't let you change it. That is why they don't want you to change the constitution. That is why they will never change the 68 exclusive items, because it benefits them. Now, the second one, the second bit, it says the constitution as set out in the schedule to this decree shall come into force on the 29th of May. So they're saying, secondly, the constitution as set out in the schedule in the first time will come into effect from 29th of May 1999. That is the proof of what I'm saying, that till today, since 1999, that decree is still in effect. That is the evidence, because it says the constitution as set out in the schedule to this decree shall come into force on 29th of May. As set out. The word you want to look for is as set out. That means that you cannot change it, you cannot move from it. It is stuck. It is stuck. And that is why every single government, I don't care who you put in, you can put a Yoruba man in, you can put a Igbo man in, this constitution will make sure the benefit goes to the Fulanis who wrote the constitution. Period. Period. So I hope you get that. This is a very important point, and I am prepared to discuss this with any senior advocate of Nigeria right now. Bring them. I am not a lawyer, but I am telling you what I have just read to you. I am prepared. The highest judges, the highest senior advocates in Nigeria, bring them. Let's discuss this, and they will have to bow to the reasoning that I've just placed before you. This is why I am telling you we must dismantle contraction Nigeria. No ifs, no buts. RIP Nigeria. RIP. Now, the third point I want to make. There's 3 points in it. So the first one, they set the constitution in stone. You can't move it. You can't touch it. You can't change it. That's point 1. But point 2, from the day it started, you have to make sure that it continues. You cannot change it. Again, it is cementing that rigidity. Now, the third point, listen to this third point, and when you get this, you will do everything. One Nigeria, you will do everything in your power to make sure that this is dismantled. Here, listen to this. Wherever it may hereafter be necessary for the constitution to be printed, it shall be lawful for the federal government printer to omit all parts of this decree apart from the schedule, and the constitution as so printed shall have the force of law, notwithstanding the omission. What does that mean? Now let's go to the top. This is what, watch this very closely. Here is the trickery and the fraud. Now, I'm going to the top now. Now, on the top, you see it says Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999. It states that. Now, I'm going to do something. Let me hide that for a second and I'll bring it back. Can I do that? Yes, I'll bring it back. I'm going to do something. I'm going to just go to my website, www.citizenay.org, and I want to show you the trickery. So, because if I'm telling you, it won't make sense. But when you see it, you will see. Now, here we go. Allow the website. Go and allow it. Come on. Yes. Just allow it. Yes. Okay. Just do it. Okay. Now, look at the top of this page. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999. Can you see that? Now, let me superimpose that picture next to it. And I'm going to bring it to you. See? Let me see if I can do that. Now, you can see. Can I do that? I'll do it at the bottom so you can see it. Let me. Can I make it bigger? Wider? Now, can you see on the constitution that you have in your hand, this one here, it says Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999. Now, on the one that is really the powerful document, it says Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999. Can you see the trickery now? And that trickery was made possible by this. By this here. They gave themselves, via the Provisional Ruling Council, they gave themselves, the military gave themselves the power. The Fulani military gave themselves power via the Provisional Ruling Council to remove, to omit parts of the decree, so that it will look like you were in you had a democracy. And that is why we must dismantle contract on Nigeria. I kid you not. I kid you not. So we need to go for self-determination, 1000%. I will happily discuss this with anybody. I can discuss it with any senior advocate of Nigeria, any lawyer. Bring them and let's interpret if my interpretation of what I've just told you now is false or not. Because as I'm telling you, 2015, they wrote confab report. What happened to confab report? Nothing. Now they're talking about amendment to the constitution. It will never happen because the Fulanis are in control. They don't want this to change. This is why we need to dismantle contract on Nigeria. RIP One Nigeria. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's that there. Now, I don't want to dwell on that too much. We can have more discussions about it. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you've learned something from that, and please, I engage. I welcome further discussions from people in various forms. But please, the message is the same. We need to dismantle contract for Nigeria. RIP One Nigeria. It is a fraud. It's been imposed on us by the Fulanis, and they are killing us in our land. Now, tomorrow's protest. Tomorrow's we're going to the thing. I'm going to do that now. I don't want to do too much of this. Let me bring to you what we will be doing, I'm going to bring you a printout. We're going to be there tomorrow live in Ekiti. So we need as many of you to please go to Ekiti and be part of the broadcast, be part of the celebration. It's a celebration. We are going to get Yoruba Nation. Nothing can stop us. Nothing will stop us, because this injustice has gone on long enough. So now let me just zoom into that one. So Ekiti State tomorrow is the place we're going, and I want you to. We'll be there. Please go down there, and we want massive turnout. We need massive, and I mean massive turnout. So my Igbo brothers, I'm now going to switch to Yoruba because this is very important. Ladies and gentlemen, do permit me on normally on Oduduwa TV radio we would speak in Yoruba only, but because of the importance of the program tonight and we was bringing on board my Igbo brothers, we had to do English. But now I'm going to speak in Yoruba. ẹ kú ọ̀rọ̀ ló kò ní sí wa kò ní rẹ̀ wá ẹ jẹ́ ká máa tẹ̀síwájú à ń gbọ́ pé àwọn kan sọ pé àwọn kan fẹ́ dá wọn dúró lọ́nà kò ní ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ tẹ̀síwájú ẹ máa débẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa gbéra ẹ dìde ẹ pariwo ẹ sọ tọkàn yín ẹ sọ tún yín Yorùbá nation la fẹ́ òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá la fẹ́ ẹ má jẹ́ kí àyájá wa ilẹ̀ bàbá wa làwa wà ẹ̀tọ́ wa làwa ń jà fún èmi wá ń rọ̀ yín o ní Èkìtì lọ́la ẹ jẹ́ ká jáde lọ́pọ̀ ká jáde ká pọ̀ kí gbogbo òlú kó máa mì tìtìtìtìtìtìtì ṣé ń gbọ́ mi kí gbogbo òlú kó máa mì tìtìtìtìtìtì báyìí pé èrò tó máa wo iwájú èrò tó máa wo ẹ̀yìn èrò tó máa wo ẹ̀gbẹ́ èrò tó máa wo ẹ̀gbẹ́ kejì èrò tó máa wo yíká tó bá gbé gbogbo kí èrò kó jáde lọ́la ó ṣe pàtàkì àwa sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa máa wà bẹ́ẹ̀ tó sì Williams àtàwọn tó kù àtàwọn ẹgbẹ́ wa Oduduwa movement àwọn state àwọn náà máa wà bẹ́ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn tó kù àyíyàjí Yẹmí Kóìkì tó yín lè mú àádọ́ gbogbo wa ẹ má jẹ́ kí àyájá wa àwọn arábí yìí náà wá jẹ ìwé òfin tó gbélé wa lórí tí mo kà lẹ́ẹ̀kan irọ́ ló kú bẹ́ẹ̀ irọ́ ló bá dé lórí irọ́ ni èmi fọwọ́sọ̀yà fún yín èmi ayọ̀ ọmọ ògùdì ìlú èmi sọ fún yín AKC ti ní wa èmi sọ fún yín pé irọ́ ló bá dé gbogbo àwọn tó wá sọ pé kẹ́ fọwọ́ sínú pé kẹ́ sọ wọ́n mọ́ Nàìjíríà wọ́n ẹ̀tọ́ ni o ẹ̀tọ́ ló bá dé fẹ́ràn mi yẹ yín ẹ̀tọ́ ló bá dé ìyẹn ni mo ní kí n sọ fún yín lálẹ́ yìí torí náà ẹ rí i pé nǹkan tí mo gbé síbẹ̀ yẹn ẹ ṣe àwọn bá ètò yẹn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn n ta gbé síbẹ̀ yẹn Èkìtì state wọ́n fara mọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá Yorùbá sovereignty now fara mọ́ òmìnira ilẹ̀ ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjìrì àfẹ́ ìdìbò ní 2023 ẹ jẹ́ kí a sọ n ta fẹ́ nìyẹn àwa ń lọ àfẹ́ dìbò kankan àwa ń lọ wọ́n fẹ́ wọ́n kọ̀ àwa ọmọ Yorùbá a dúró tán a ṣetán àti dúró tán àní ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ fún wọn pé àti dúró tán ẹ sọ fún wọn pé àti dúró tán pé kò síṣẹ́ ìrẹ́jẹ yìí ti pọ̀ jù ẹ wo tí mo kà fún yín wọ́n gbé ọ̀rọ̀ mẹ́ta sínú ìwé tí mo kà lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn ẹ jẹ́ kí n ṣí fún yín kí ó lè yé wa màá gbé mo fẹ́ torí má ti ń rò ó máa ń ká mi lára ọ̀rọ̀ mẹ́ta ló gbé wa ṣé títí àkọ́kọ́ yìí wọ́n ṣe bí òkúta ìwé òfin yẹn wọ́n sọ ọ́ di òkúta kò ní ṣe é mọ́ kò ní ṣe é tútò kò ní ṣe é yẹ̀ òkúta yẹn ń tẹ́mà òfin yín nìyẹn lè gbé yẹ̀wò lè fà á sọ̀tún lè túpalẹ̀ lè yọ nǹkankan lè fàfikún sí bí ọ̀rọ̀ àkọ́kọ́ yẹn ṣe jẹ́ ni ìkejì yẹn wọ́n ní pé ìjọ tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní 29th of May 1999 àtijọ́ yẹn òfin yẹn bó dẹ̀ ṣe wà ní kò yí padà kò sí kankan ṣoṣo nínú ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn tó yí padà wọn ò lè jẹ́ kó yí padà torí àwọn Fúlàní ni ìyẹn ìkejì ìkẹta kẹ máa wo ẹ̀tàn ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá kẹ máa wo ẹ̀tàn kẹ máa wo ẹ̀tàn tó wà ní kíní ẹ̀tàn gbọ́dọ̀ bá kíní mọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ bá mọ́ ilé jẹ́ ni ẹ̀tàn kẹta wọ́n wá fún ara wọn ní àṣẹ láti yọ ọ̀rọ̀ ibi tí ó jẹ́ pé ó sọ pé promulgation decree pé àwọn òfin oníkakí ẹ jẹ́ ká pè bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ìlókè yìí máa fi hàn yín ṣe ní lókè ní báyìí wọ́n yọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ṣẹlẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo fi ní by promulgation decree number 24 1999 wọ́n yọ kúrò ká máa mú ọ gbogbo wa wá ń rí eléyìí làwa wá ń rí ẹ jẹ́ kí n wo tó bá ṣe é ṣe màá gbìyànjú kí n bẹ́ẹ̀ mo lè fi ní ìpamọ́ ẹ jẹ́ n ṣe báyìí náà ń bọ̀ mo fẹ́ wáyé náà nínú ṣàmúṣúrú fún mi díẹ̀ so eléyìí ni gbogbo àwa eléyìí làwa mọ̀ gbogbo nǹkan táwa mọ̀ rè àwa mọ̀ eléyìí tábà ti rí òwe òfin rè àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ni ẹ̀tọ́ ló bá dé wọ́n yọ ọ̀rọ̀ tó yẹ pé àwọn mọ̀ pé decree ni kiri òfin oníkakí àwa ń rò pé òfin tó yẹ pé gbogbo àwọn ọmọ onílùú ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni kò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ irọ́ ló bá dé látòkèdélẹ̀ torí nígbà tó ti yọ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn àwọn ò mọ̀ pé ìwé òfin tó gbélé wa lọ́wọ́ òfin kakí ni wọ́n dẹ̀ lè yí ọ̀rọ̀ padà nígbàkigbà tó bá wù wọ́n kò dẹ̀ sí tí a lè ṣe ti torí àwọn ọlọ́gbọ́n òfin yẹn lẹ̀ ó ṣe pàtàkì ká mọ kíní yìí wọ́n yọ kíní yẹn wọ́n dìídì láàrin àwọn wọn pè wá ìkẹta ọ̀rọ̀ tó tún wá burú jù mbẹ̀ a ṣe referendum kankan lórí kíní kó tó gbélé wa lórí ìdí náà lẹ́yìn rí pé gbogbo omi wa o gbogbo àlùmọ́ọ́nì ilẹ̀ wa wọ́n gbà lọ́wọ́ wa torí wọ́n ti kọ́ sínú ìwé òfin pé àwọn nìkan làwọn tó gbà wọ́n lè sọ fún wa pé ààrẹ yí ìwé wọ́n sọ pé ààrẹ gbọ́dọ̀ yí ìwé yẹn padà ṣé ẹ̀mí yẹn wọ́n ní àgbọ́dọ̀ yí ìwé yẹn padà torí gbogbo kíní so gbogbo nǹkan tí mò ń bá ibi táwọn bá ọ̀rọ̀ ni pé kó yé wa ẹ̀jọ̀ má bínú mo fẹ́ fi ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ti fi kí n wá fi kíní yẹn hàn yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí so ìyàtọ̀ yẹn ṣẹ́rí màá tún gbìyànjú mo fẹ́ fi ìyàtọ̀ yẹn hàn wá ní èdè Yorùbá tó bá ṣe é ṣe màá gbìyànjú náà bọ̀ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ rí n tó wà lókè ṣẹ́rí tẹ́ bá wo ilé tó wà lókè yẹn kẹ́ wá wo ilé tó wà nísàlẹ̀ mò ń bọ̀ o tẹ́ bá wo ilé tó wà lókè ṣẹ́rí wọ́n kọ Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria màá jẹ́ kí n ṣe báyìí náà màá gbìyànjú màá ṣe báyìí ẹ̀yẹ wo ilé tó wà lókè Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 ẹ wo ti sàlẹ̀ Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria promulgation decree 24 of 1999 wọ́n fi yẹn pamọ́ fún wa torí náà ẹ̀tọ́ ló bá dé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ mi ẹ̀tọ́ ló bá dé ẹ̀tọ́ ni o mo fẹ́ kí ẹ̀yẹ wa tábà tí wàá nìyẹn lọ́kàn lọ́la bá ṣe ń lọ àádọ́ máa lọ rí àábọ̀ rí ẹni tó bá ní pé àní débẹ̀ òun gan ló máa bálẹ̀ lọ àwọn ọ̀dà tó bá wà láàrin wa tó bá lọ bá wọn láàbí ṣe ó máa bálẹ̀ lọ ni àwọn tó bá dẹ̀ àwọn onífúlàní tó dẹ̀ fẹ́ wá dẹ̀ fẹ́ tó bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe ilé ìtọ́ ṣe àwọn alálẹ̀ wọn aṣọ àyànjú wọn ẹ jẹ́ ká dẹ̀ lo tìbílẹ̀ tá a bá máa lò àsìkò pé a máa dúró fún ẹ̀kọ́ ó ti kọjá ẹ̀tọ́ wa là ń jà fún àwọn aráàbí yìí wọ́n ṣe jìbìtì fún wa sọ̀rọ̀ mi yẹ yín wọ́n ṣe jìbìtì. My Igbo brothers, please do bear with me. I'm speaking a lot in Yoruba now because I'm very, very steamed up and I need to pass this message. So please do bear with me. So ẹ̀yin ẹ̀mí ẹ̀jọ̀ mo rọ̀ wá má jẹ́ kí a jáyà jẹ́ ká jáde tán gbogbo ẹ̀yin alágbára wa mọ̀ tẹ́ máa tó yẹ kẹ́ ṣe láti jáde kẹ́ dáàbò bo àwọn èèyàn wa. Sọ mi yẹn jáde tán gbogbo ó dé bí olóògùn gbèsà o. Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi ó dé bí olóògùn gbèsà ẹja débẹ̀ ẹja fi hàn wọ́n pé àwa àkíṣọmọ ojo lórí ilẹ̀ bàbá ta wa ẹ jẹ́ ká fi hàn pé àkíṣọmọ ojo ẹ jẹ́ ká fi hàn wọ́n pé àkíṣe ọmọ ojo ìrẹ́jẹ yìí ti pọ̀ jù ṣé ń gbọ́ mi ẹ jẹ́ kí ó yé gbogbo àwọn tó jáde ẹ jẹ́ àrọ̀ wá mo rò gbogbo wa ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká jáde tán lọ́la kí èrò àní ibikíbi tó bá wò kó rí èrò kó mọ̀ pé àwa Yorùbá àlọ́bì kankan lórí ẹ̀ bàbá tiwa àwa dúró tán kò dẹ̀ sí tí wọ́n máa ṣe tọ́ mi yẹn kò sí tí wọ́n máa ṣe wọn ò tó bẹ́ẹ̀ torí àwọn alálẹ̀ wọ́n ti ṣe kí ni wọ́n ti dúró tiwa wọ́n ti jí èmi kọ́ ni mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn alálẹ̀ ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ èmi kọ́ kì í ṣe tara mi nìkan wọ́n gba ẹni mi sọ̀rọ̀ ni ẹ rò pé ó kàn mí pé kí n jáde fúnra mi mo mọ̀ kàn déédéé jáde irọ́ àwọn alálẹ̀ ni sọ̀rọ̀ mi yẹ kì í dẹ́ ṣe mi nìkan o yọmi náà sẹ́rù pé ó kàn déédéé jáde lásán ni irọ́ ìrẹ́jẹ yẹn wọ́n ti fi kíní yẹn sí wa lára pé tásìkò bá tó wọ́n máa ní ó ní tí tásìkò tí ṣíṣú bá yá fùràlà ibẹ̀ ládé yìí o tó bí òwe wọ́n ní tí ṣíṣú bá yá fùrọ̀ àlà ibẹ̀ gan-an ládé yìí torí náà ẹ má jà jáyà ẹ má jà jáyà rárá ẹ jẹ́ ká ní fọkànbalẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká ní fọkànbalẹ̀ báyìí pé ó ti ṣe é ṣe ká lè tẹ̀síwájú gbogbo àwọn tó wáyé láwọn máa dalẹ̀ àwọn náà mọ̀ wọ́n máa balẹ̀ lọ ni àwọn tó wọ́n máa dà wá wọ́n máa balẹ̀ lọ ni torí àwa dúró lórí òótọ́ pé wọ́n fẹ́ wọ́kọ̀ àwa máa lọ a máa gba òmìnira mo fẹ́ kí ẹ nígbàgbọ́ yẹn mo fẹ́ kí ẹ nígbàgbọ́ yẹn ṣẹgbọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ ni princess Ronke bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbogbo náà ẹ bá àwọn gbogbo kan ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe lóhùn kan tá a bá ti dé pàdé yẹn gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe wọ́n bí ẹbí ni gbogbo wa ẹ ṣe ara wa ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe ara wa bí ẹbí ká ṣe wa lọ́ṣọ̀ṣọ̀ wọ̀ wọ́n lè mọ̀ pé àwọn ọlọ́pàá tó máa wá síbẹ̀ àwọn Yorùbá wọn tó bẹ́ẹ̀ wọn tó kọjú bọ́ sí ọmọ ìyá wọn tó bẹ́ẹ̀ a ní wọn tó bẹ́ẹ̀ torí náà mo fẹ́ ká jáde tọ́lọ́ la o ẹ jọ n tá à ń sọ yìí so mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo akẹ́ máa rí n tí à ń sọ yìí lọ́la ọ̀kìdẹ́sọ̀la nìkan o a tún máa ṣe ìwọ́de ní Italy ní 12th of June ó dẹ̀ ṣe pàtàkì a máa ṣe ìwọ́de ní London níbí àwọn náà máa ṣe ìwọ́de ní June 12 àwọn náà máa ṣe ìwọ́de ká tún jáde tán ká jáde wo kíní gbogbo wa ló kàn kò sí pé bóyá kí èèyàn tàdé lẹ́yìn kan ká dúró rẹ̀ àsìkò tá a máa dìde ẹ jẹ́ ká dúró tán pátápátá sẹ́wọ̀n mi ẹ jẹ́ ká dúró tán àsìkò ti so àsìkò mi ti fẹ́ tó mo ní kí n sáré kí n wá sọ̀rọ̀ ni ẹ jọ gbogbo a ti fi àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan sí orí ibẹ̀ yẹn àwọn tó má lè fún wa ní kọ̀ọ̀kan àárọ̀ yín ni gbogbo àwọn tó ń bá wa ṣe àwọn iṣẹ́ nílọ́run à ń fi nǹkan kan ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ èmi ni dátà ni o èmi ni ọ̀rọ̀ oúnjẹ pé wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ nǹkan kan jọ yẹn ni o èmi ni bí òtẹ́ tó fẹ́ sùn o èmi ni wọ́kítọ́kì o èmi ni rédíò a nílò wọ́kítọ́kì a nílò ọkọ̀ a fẹ́ ra ọkọ̀ fáwọn tí wọ́n bá wa ṣiṣẹ́ ìkọ́ lè máa gbéra wọn kiri torí bá ṣe ń ṣe é sì wọ́n sanwó ọkọ̀ pé táwọn á lọ síbì kan a fẹ́ ṣe kó yẹ pé a máa ní ọkọ̀ tẹ́ pé wọ́n á lè gbé ìwọ́de ń ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí o ó yá ẹ pàdé níbi báyìí o owó epo rẹ o ọkọ̀ nìyẹn ó yá ẹ tẹ̀síwájú ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ó ṣeé ṣe a nílò ìrànlọ́wọ́ yín torí náà ẹ jọ gbogbo àti fi gbogbo àwọn kinní yẹn sórí òpó wa ẹ bá wa kàn sórí ẹ fi nǹkan kan sí gbogbo èyí tó bá jẹ́ pé ẹ fẹ́ ṣe ti Yorùbá àfẹ́ fìta ẹ kàn sí wa ẹ sórí nọ́mbà tí mo kọ sí tó wà lórí ìlà yẹn 4473995806 mímọ̀ tó bá ń yọ ń ṣe ẹ jẹ́ kí sáré wò ná tí ò bá yọ mo kàn fẹ́ sáré yẹ̀wò kí mi kiri pé ó wà ń bẹ̀ tí ò bá wọn máa kí n lè ẹ wà ń bẹ̀ ẹ ń rí ó dàpọ̀ ẹ ń rí kan ẹ wà ń bẹ̀ yẹn so àwọn nọ́mbà yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ní nọ́mbà yẹn ẹ bá wa máa fi nǹkan kan sí mo rọ̀ wá ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí àsìkò iṣẹ́ rí ìrẹ́jẹ yìí a gbọ́dọ̀ bá mọ́ ẹ̀tọ́ ní kíní yìí mo ti fi hàn ọ̀nà mẹ́ta pé kò sí ọ̀fẹ́ ká a lè gbà kò ṣeé gbà sára mọ́ torí àwọn tó bá sọ wípé ẹ gbà ká sì wà nù ẹjọ́ ẹ̀tọ́ ní o ntọ́ ń jẹ lọ́nlé o tí wọ́n mi ntọ́ ń jẹ lọ́nlé torí náà ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo rọ gbogbo inú mi dùn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe darapọ̀ mọ́ wa báyìí ẹ ṣeun gan lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ mi ò ní rí jù báyìí lọ máa tún jí torí mi ò fẹ́ pẹ́ sùn lálẹ́ torí láàárọ̀ la a máa ti jí gbàrà a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe ètò lórí Èkìtì rally yẹn àwọn kan ti máa dé ọ̀hún so ọmọ láti máa ṣe àwọn iṣẹ́ kan láàárọ̀ a máa ti máa dúró a máa lọ ní láàrin ọ̀rọ̀ kìíní yẹn pé kó lè ká máa mójútó ohun tó ń lọ ká lè máa mọ ká máa má àwọn ìròyìn wá àwọn ìròyìn yẹn tó ṣe pàtàkì wá fún yín bó ṣe ń wá bó ṣe ń lọ báyìí kẹ́ máa gbọ́ bó ṣe ń lọ báyìí làwọn máa gbọ́ á dẹ̀ lọ rí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n dẹ̀ máa gbéra lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n á lọ rí wọ́n á bọ̀ rí àṣẹ ti gùn àní gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó máa lọ sí ìwọ́de yẹn wọ́n máa lọ rí wọ́n dẹ̀ máa bọ̀ rí kò sí nǹkankan tó máa ṣe wọ́n lágbára àwọn alálẹ̀ lágbára Oòduà ó ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀ àṣẹ wà ó ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀ àwí bẹ́ẹ̀ àṣẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ á dẹ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn alágbára wa ẹjọ́ mo rọ gbogbo ayé ẹjọ́ ẹ sowọ́pọ̀ àsìkò yìí lágbájá sọ pé kinní kan ẹ gbàgbé gbogbo yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká kọjú síbi tá à ń lọ òmìnira ó jẹ gbogbo wa lógún ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kò jù báyìí lọ ẹ ṣeun mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ má gbàgbé o ẹ jọ n tí ẹ bá lè fún wa a ti fi account number a ti fi sórí òpó ayé lórí YouTube náà a dúpẹ́ ọjọ́ má bínú pé mi ò tí ń bá wò lọ títí torí ẹ mọ̀ ṣẹ́ pọ̀ máa ń wo oríṣiríṣi platform àdé ń gbìyànjú láti máa ṣe kíní kó lè máa bọ́ sí àmọ́ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ yẹn ẹ má gbàgbé o ìwé òfin tó gbélé wa lórí ẹ̀tàn ni irọ́ ló bá dé wọ́n purọ́ fún wa wọ́n yọ àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan kúrò ká máa mọ̀ pé òfin oníkàkí ni àdẹ́gbọ́dọ̀ gbà á mọ́ torí náà lọ́la ẹ̀jẹ̀ àjáde ká jáde tán ṣẹgbọ́n ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká jáde tán mo adé ẹ̀dùn wa o ẹ̀jọ̀ ń tẹ́ bá lè fún wa a ti fi àwọn kíní yẹn sórí a ti fi àwọn àkáǹtì méjì yẹn ti London àti ti PayPal àti fi sílẹ̀ àwọn tó máa yẹ ẹ̀bẹ̀ fà fi nǹkan kan sínú àkáǹtì fún wa ẹ kàn sórí 44739958266 àgbé àfún ní ti ìbílẹ̀ wa náà torí àfẹ́kẹ́rẹ́ àwọn orí ojú àwọn kan kojú wọn bọ̀ sọ mi ọ̀rọ̀ mi yẹn so ibi àárín jù báyìí lọ ẹ ṣeun gan-an dúpẹ́ inú wa dùn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe darapọ̀ mọ́ wa a máa tètè lọ́sùn lálẹ́ yìí torí lọ́la a máa tètè jí lọ́la a máa mójútó gbogbo tó ń lọ a máa ṣe àwọn ètò yẹn bóde ṣe ń lọ a máa gbé wá sọ́dọ̀ yín a gbé wá fún yín ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ó ti ṣeé ṣe iṣẹ́ pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa àdéhùn jù báyìí lọ ẹ ṣeun gan ni adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín to my Igbo brothers I am truly grateful for your support and for our commitment. Now we Igbos on June 12th in London we are expecting Yorubas and Igbos to work together in Trafalgar Square. We may have to walk around to all the way to Parliament Square and back. We will do that on the day. I'm sure we'll organize something. But we want as many Yorubas and as many Igbos to come out on June 12th. We need to come out. Because this is in our Middle Belt times as well. Come out. We need to dismantle contract from Nigeria. We need to make that noise. Make the noise. We are not going anywhere. We cannot be any minute longer in contract from Nigeria. We must not be any minute longer than necessary in contract from Nigeria. We need to dismantle it. So, my Igbo brothers and sisters, I thank you all. I hail IPOB, Simon Ekpa, Nnamdi Kanu, and many others. I thank you all for your support, and we need to work together to achieve this. So please, when we say this, I'm asking you all, donate what you can to the Yoruba Nation cause. This is something, and I also want to add, gbogbo àwa Yorùbá ẹjọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe kíní lóṣooṣù. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní dáwó lóṣooṣù. Ká máa dá kíní lóṣooṣù, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Lóṣooṣù kẹba ok ẹ ṣe bá a lè ṣe kí ẹ kọ sí wa kẹ máa ṣe lóṣooṣù torí iṣẹ́ pọ̀ ìwọ́de ó máa wá léra báyìí ìwọ́de tí a máa ṣe ó máa wá léra adé máa nílò àwọn láti àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ mi yẹn so ìwọ́de máa ṣe pàtàkì ẹ jẹ́ ká gbìyànjú ká máa dá owó yìí lóṣooṣù gbogbo àwọn táwa nìyẹn ẹgbẹ́ tábà ẹ jẹ́ ká máa dáwó sínú ẹgbẹ́ lóṣooṣù torí yẹn ló máa jẹ́ kí a lè ní nǹkan tá a máa fẹ́ ṣe ẹ jọ ẹ má gbàgbé a sì fẹ́ ṣe ìtọ̀rọ̀ ti rédíò 80 million naira a nílò yẹn fún ìlú mẹ́ta ǹtẹ́ bá lè ṣe fún wa lórí yẹn náà ẹ jọ ẹ bá wa ṣe ṣẹgbọ́n so gbogbo yẹn ní àṣẹ so ẹ máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín à ní ìrìjù báyìí lọ ẹ ṣeun gan ni ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré kọ ẹ jẹ́ kí a kọ orin ìbílẹ̀ ká tó kásẹ̀ tó ńlẹ̀ ẹ ṣeun gan ni gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn I thank you all for joining us. We're gonna sing out the national anthem with passion from the heart. Yeah? So, ladies and gentlemen, national anthem. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a kọ orin orílẹ̀-èdè wa.
Ni ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa.
ṣeun gan ni ẹ má gbàgbé ní ọ̀la ní ìjọ 10, 11 and 12 ní New York a máa ṣe ìwọ́de wọ́n máa sùn mọ́jú lọ́jọ́ méjì ní New York ọmọọba Adéjọkẹ́ alàgbà Joseph Ige àtàwọn tó kù wọ́n máa darapọ̀ àti Armoruf wọ́n máa jáde ní New York wọ́n máa jáde Canada náà àwọn náà máa ṣe ní June 12 ẹ dà pé màtún máa fún díẹ̀ kẹ́ mọ gbogbo yẹn ẹ ṣeun gan ni adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ má gbàgbé n tẹ́ bá lè ṣe fún wa o ẹ bá wa ṣe láti máa fi ṣe kí ètò ìkó lè máa lọ síwájú ká lè máa mú ìròyìn wá fún yín ó di ọ̀la lágbára Èdùmàrè lágbára àwọn alálẹ̀ ó ti ṣe é ṣe ilẹ̀ ìlérí àjọ débẹ̀ lápapọ̀ wa ẹ ṣeun gan ni ó dìgbà kan náà ẹ ṣeun ó dàbọ̀. ó ń ṣe bákan ok ìyẹn ní okù gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí YouTube ẹ jẹ́ má bínú tí ń bá mójútó ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń tẹ ẹ ṣeun gan adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ń tẹ́ bá lè ṣe má gbàgbé ẹ bá wa ṣe ń tẹ́ bá lè ṣe ẹ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ó di ọ̀la lágbára Ọlọ́run lágbára Èdùmàrè Èkìtì ẹ bá darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ẹ bá pín ètò wa náà ẹ ṣeun ẹ subscribe lórí ẹ sọ fún àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ kan bá subscribe náà sórí YouTube ṣẹgbọ́n ẹ ṣeun orí ètò ọmọọba lédi ọmọọba bára náà lédi bẹ́ẹ̀ sàkéde Yorùbá alàgbà ọmọborí owó àtàwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ Citizen AY náà àti Oduduwa TV náà ẹ bá subscribe ẹ ṣeun gan ni ẹ ṣe wá dúpẹ́ ó dìgbà kan náà ẹ ṣeun ó dàbọ̀.